My dad was so scared I'd never find a girlfriend that he straight up arranged for me to marry a female CEO. A 6-foot Tate CEO chick. She never comes home. We've been married almost 6 months and I still can't even remember what she looks like. But the CEO is loaded. Every single month, right on time, she drops $1 million into my account for living expenses. I was dying laughing. Wife never comes home and I still get stupid amounts of money to spend. This life couldn't get any better. I partied with the boys till 3 in the morning, stumbling home wasted. Soon as I flipped on the lights, there was some strange woman sitting on my bed. She looked pissed and said, "You're finally back." I jumped, locked the bedroom door, and was about to call the cops. Then this beautiful voice came from behind the door. "Ethan Chen, you don't remember who I am?" I fumbled for my phone while yelling at her. I was still drunk off my ass, so I didn't care what she was saying. "I don't care who you are. You're done for. Breaking and entering. Get ready to go to jail. Ethan Chen, I'm your wife." The word wife hit me like a bucket of cold water and cut right through the alcohol. "Oh yeah, I do have a wife. While I was gone, you've been living it up, huh?" Victoria Sue was sitting on the bed in a dark silk nightgown, her long pale legs crossed. Under the hem I could see her perfect feet. Just looking at her made me a little itchy. No, not at all. I only went out with the boys for a bit tonight, and somehow you just happened to catch me. Yeah, you gotta believe me. While you were gone, I was super responsible, staying home alone the whole time. Yeah, right. Victoria Sue's lips curled into a meaningful little smile. Poor husband. You've really been suffering these past few months. How about I move back in, starting tomorrow? What? No need. I panicked and waved my hands like crazy. Victoria Sue frowned and narrowed her eyes, her voice carrying a hint of threat. "Why, you don't want me to come back?" "Of course not. I mean, of course I do." I forced a smile. "It's just, the house is so far from your company. I'm worried the commute will tire you out. In that case, pack your stuff tomorrow and move in with me." Those words coming from a 37-degree mouth somehow sent a chill down my spine. My beautiful married life had just ended way too soon. Victoria Sue insisted I move in with her. I didn't want to fight her directly, so I just went along with it for now. After I finished washing up, Victoria Sue still wasn't asleep. She patted the bed, signaling me to come sleep. I smiled awkwardly and reluctantly lay down beside her. A moment later, she rolled over and wrapped her arms around me. Her unfamiliar scent instantly surrounded me. My whole body went stiff. It wasn't like we'd never shared a bed before. But on our wedding night, she was blackout drunk. By the time I woke up, she was already gone. So this was basically the first time we were both sober in the same bed. Victoria Sue pressed herself against me. Her cheek gently rubbed my head as she whispered softly in my ear, "Sorry for ignoring you all this time. I didn't dare move an inch." Inside, I was screaming, "It's no big deal. Please keep ignoring me. I'm totally fine with it." After thinking it over, I decided to have an honest talk with her. I grabbed her hand and said, "Look, I get it. We got married for business reasons, not love. I really don't mind you not coming home. Don't worry, I'm very chill about it. I think the way things were before was actually pretty good, don't you think?" Victoria Sue didn't answer. All I could hear was her slow, quiet breathing. Once I was sure she was asleep, I groped around in the dark for my phone. I wanted to text the boys about how to keep my post-marriage freedom, but she was holding me so tight I couldn't wiggle free, no matter what. Maybe I moved too much, because she started to wake up. Still half asleep, she pulled me even closer. In a sleepy voice, she mumbled, "Be good. Don't move. I have an early meeting tomorrow." That voice was so damn nice, it almost killed me. I almost lost it right there. I checked the time. It was already past 4 in the morning. Whatever, I thought. I'll deal with it tomorrow. Time to sleep. I had no idea when Victoria Sue left. I was woken up by someone knocking on the door. When I opened it, a sharp-looking professional woman was standing outside. She put away her phone and said with zero emotion, "Good morning, Mr. Chen. I'm President Sue's secretary. She sent me to pack your things and take them away." Wait, what? What's going on? I don't know anything about this. Please call President Sue yourself. Get to work. On her order, the movers poured into the room. They started carrying out every single thing I owned. I was furious. Furious at Victoria Sue for deciding everything herself. Even more furious at these people touching my stuff without asking. I sat down hard on my suitcase and yelled, "Put everything down. If you want to take my stuff, you'll have to take me first." The secretary tilted her head and looked at me. There was a flicker of confusion in her eyes. Then she told the movers, "Carry him out too." "Are you kidding me, you little cutie?" Still in my pajamas, I sat on my suitcase as the moving crew carried me straight into Victoria Sue's house. Victoria Sue happened to walk in at that exact moment. I jumped, smoothed my messy hair, and smiled. I pressed my right hand on her shoulder and pinned her against the wall. Trying to hold back my anger, I said, "Look, let's stop acting out this bossy CEO drama, okay? When you do stuff, shouldn't you at least ask my opinion first?" Victoria Sue blinked innocently and asked, "I just want to live with my husband. Is that a problem for someone?" "Wait, you're saying you have a problem with it?" I mean. Nobody has a problem with it." Victoria Sue tilted her body and easily slipped out of my grip. So shameless. Absolutely shameless. Unlike me grinding my teeth, she looked like she was having the time of her life. She took off her coat. I suddenly caught a glimpse of her slim waist and that perfect figure wrapped in her fitted blouse. I almost choked on my own spit. Damn, that body is insane. Victoria Sue heard me cough and turned around. "What's wrong?" I quickly looked away from her waist and covered my burning face with my hand. I headed straight for the nearest bathroom to hide. That body in business clothes, plus her cold, flawless face, was pure temptation. The forbidden vibe was off the charts. I couldn't keep looking or I'd lose all self-control. But the very next second, Victoria Sue gave a relaxed smile. She casually unbuttoned 2 buttons on her shirt, then took 2 big steps and blocked my path. I was terrified. This was way too much for an innocent guy like me. I shrank back like a scared little bunny in her shadow. Trying to stay calm, I asked, "What do you want?" She tilted her head closer. The fresh scent from her neck filled my nose. The invisible pressure made me squeeze my eyes shut. "You tell me, what do I want?" I almost screamed, shoved her aside, and bolted into the bathroom. Right as I closed the door, I heard Victoria Sue let out a soft, helpless laugh. "Little friend." Hearing her call me that made me lose it. Did she have to look down on me like that? I told the whole story to my best friend Kevin Chen. He laughed his ass off. Then he immediately decided he was taking me out tonight to show me the real world. I agreed excitedly, my fingers typing so fast I almost punched through the screen. Late that night, while Victoria Sue was sound asleep, I gently pushed her arm away. I snuck out of bed, changed clothes, grabbed my shoes, and got ready to sneak out. But the second I reached for the door, the living room lights flipped on. I froze like a burglar caught red-handed, panicked and awkward. "Where are you going?" Victoria Sue asked slowly, her tone not happy at all. I'm just taking out the trash. You believe me, right? Dressed like this?" Victoria Sue scanned me from head to toe. Her eyes finally landed on the outfit I carefully picked out. I felt guilty and looked away. But then I noticed a strange, deep look in her eyes. Something about her expression felt off. It only lasted a split second. The next second she turned around, walked into the bedroom, and left this slightly suggestive line. "Come to bed, it's the middle of the night, just the 2 of us." I figured she was a little mad at me. I told Kevin Chen the story. He sounded shocked and said, "Dude, does your wife not like you at all?" Now even I was starting to wonder, does she really have zero interest in me? I suddenly felt like pranking her to test the waters. But then I thought, even if she does like me, I don't really like her. Whatever. Kevin Chen roasted me again after that. "Your wife is that hot and you can actually hold back. Ethan, you're something else." I got embarrassed and annoyed, so I turned off my phone. Victoria Sue left early again the next morning. I think she kissed my cheek yesterday. The feeling of her soft lips on my face felt way too real to be a dream. When I woke up, the secretary was already working in the living room. I asked her, confused, "Why are you here?" She gave me a professional fake smile. "President Sue only told me to come. For details, please call her directly." I got ready and headed out. The secretary packed up her laptop and followed me. I asked, "Are you leaving?" She replied, "Are you leaving? Is there any connection between me leaving and you leaving? You decide first, then I'll decide." I finally understood this secretary was here to watch me. So I called President Sue myself. "Victoria Sue, what the hell? Why did you send someone to spy on me?" She was super busy on the other end, but still found time to tease me. "It's not spying. It's keeping you company. You're welcome." Do I look like I have no friends? Do I need you to send someone to babysit me? Tell her to go home right now. Victoria Sue must have heard the anger in my voice. She paused, then said, "All right, I understand." A few moments later, the secretary got a call from Victoria Sue. She answered, hung up, and told me, President Sue says I can leave in 2 hours. Why 2 hours? Then I saw Victoria Sue jogging over like they were switching shifts. One person stays, one person leaves. That's when I realized why it had to be 2 hours. She didn't trust me to be alone, even for 1 second. I got a little scared and secretly texted Kevin Chen, Bro, what do I do? I think my wife might be a... Kevin Chen finally got serious. Don't panic. I'm Googling what to do when a yonder falls for you. A little later, he sent me a message. Good luck, dude. Then another message. Yonder stories are trending right now. Can I turn your story into a post? I replied, just be a decent human being, please. Victoria Sue said she came specially to keep me company. I nodded like crazy and didn't dare say a single no. Kevin Chen texted me again. I heard the Sue group is super busy these days, yet he dropped everything to stay with you. That means he's really into you. I wanted to cry but had no tears. Hiding in the mall bathroom, I read the yonder fanfic he sent me. I pictured Victoria Sue grabbing me by the throat saying, You're never leaving me for the rest of your life. I was shaking with fear and called my dad. Dad, can I get a divorce? He was in the middle of a business call and heard me say that out of nowhere. He lowered his voice and said, Don't make me slap you, okay? I got the message and quickly changed my tone. Dad, you've worked so hard. Goodbye, Dad. No way out. I had to face it. I walked out of the bathroom and saw Victoria Sue leaning on the railing. She was watching the kids dancing on the first floor plaza. She had such a gentle smile on her face. I remembered the first time we met. We barely knew each other and didn't even talk. At the wedding, we both wore fake smiles for the guests. On the outside, we looked like the perfect couple, but in reality, we could barely remember each other's faces. Yet, she still carefully fixed my collar and tied my tie for me. She even put a jacket over my shoulders when I was sitting alone. Could someone that thoughtful and warm really be scary? What are you thinking about? Victoria Sue walked over and poked my cheek. I was wondering if you're going to hit me. What's wrong with you? She rolled her eyes. But then she seemed to think of something and smiled coldly. Not necessarily, it depends on me. Kevin Chen said with yanders, you can never use force. Otherwise, it's either them or you who ends up dead. The best way to escape is to make her lose all interest in you. So I dug up all of Victoria Sue's old interview videos. I flipped her ideal type completely upside down. She likes smart guys. I acted dumb every day. She likes cheerful people. I became gloomy and dramatic. She likes kind people. I put on my best villain face. I turned myself into the evil antagonist from every drama. I figured Victoria Sue would get sick of me really fast. I'd be back to my rich, single life in no time. Just thinking about it made me happy. But after all my crazy acting, Victoria Sue didn't get tired of me at all. Instead, she started spending even more time with me. She kept hugging me and saying, Sorry, it's my fault for not taking care of you. I was losing my mind. What does it take for Victoria Sue to finally let me go? Victoria Sue went on a business trip overseas, just when I gave up and decided to learn how to be a good husband. The very next day, news broke that she spent the night with a handsome guy. It was all over the headlines. My parents, relatives, and friends flooded me with messages. I was at home staring at the photo of that tall, good-looking guy. I was jumping around the house cheering. I immediately called my lawyer to talk about divorce. The lawyer sounded a little awkward. Mr. Chen, maybe finish laughing first and then we can continue. I apologized but couldn't stop laughing. The lawyer, used to crazy situations, kindly said it was fine. I'll send you all the information you need later. If there's anything better than having a rich wife who never comes home, it's having a rich wife who never comes home and then getting divorced. And I'm the one who's not at fault. Hell yeah. I called Kevin Chen right away. Bro, let's go out tonight and celebrate. I'm finally getting my freedom back. Are you actually happy, or just pretending? Of course I'm actually happy. I'm about to be free. This time, I might really get a divorce from Victoria Sue. At the very least, I can use this as an excuse so she can never come near me again. My laughter stopped the second Victoria Sue, looking exhausted, appeared in front of me. Victoria Sue was back. I'll talk to you later. I quickly hung up. Her face looked off. Her eyes were red and bloodshot from exhaustion. She stared at me in disbelief. When I stepped closer, she actually took 2 steps back. Were those words you just said sincere? Victoria Sue looked like she was about to cry. I panicked and didn't know what to do. What's wrong with you? Stop dodging the question. She raised her voice. Tears that had been held back finally fell. Tell me, were those words you said true or fake? I was startled and stayed silent, not knowing how to answer. The disappointment in Victoria Sue's eyes grew deeper and deeper. Finally, she didn't wait for my answer. She turned and walked out, slamming the door behind her. I sat there stunned on the floor, my mind a total mess. Kevin Chen called to ask what happened. I said I didn't know. He was crying and asked if I really meant those things. I have no idea. It's so weird. Why is he acting like this? Kevin Chen sighed. He's definitely in love with you, but he still spent the night with someone else. Ethan, are you stupid? The fact that he rushed straight home to find you means it must be a misunderstanding. But why would he love me? Let the gods answer that one. So many questions filled my head. But there was one thing I knew for sure. Victoria Sue is not a young. Even when she was that angry and hurt, she still didn't do anything extreme to me. But that answer didn't seem to matter anymore. Victoria Sue wouldn't answer my calls and wouldn't come home. Both our parents tried to talk to her but got nowhere.